Hello there, Lynx here, and welcome to Lifted Dreams. Let's check out what this ringing is about. That's right. The blaring sound of my cell phone going off wakes me up from my depressing nightmare that we've seen in the previous episode. I shrug it off and feel thankful to the caller for interrupting it. Before I stand up to answer the phone, I glance at my wall clock and see that it's already past 9 AM. I must have thought about Faye for a long time last night. Don't ask about the details. I press the answer button upon seeing Chelsea's name. Before I can even begin speaking, her low, sobbing voice whispers into my ear. She talks slowly but without pauses. She tells me that something has happened to her, but I'm not sure that I hear her correctly, so I hesitantly ask for clarification. What do you mean by that?
Maybe at the playground and you understand.
Why is it always the playground? Chelsea answers depressingly. After putting my cell phone in my pocket and fixing myself up, I hurriedly head to the playground. As I approach my destination, I see her standing in her usual singing position. However, she's not singing, but this time her head is hung low as if something heavy is sitting atop of it. I approach her and she turns around as soon as she hears my footsteps. Chelsea! What happened? I worriedly asked. Instead of answering me, she slowly walks up to me and positions her sweat face and teary eyes closer to me. She then nervously places her shaking hands near her chest. I gulp as I anticipate what she might be about to do. Slowly, as if something delicate is about to come flying from her mouth, she opens it. The result is hardly anything delicate. In place of Chelsea's heavenly singing voice is a beastly, terrifying tune that has clearly originated from her and only her. In fact, I can't even call that a tune. It's just frightening dissonance. It can't possibly be Chelsea's... it can't be possibly... It can... for freak's sake. It can't possibly be Chelsea's voice. Her voice is warm and kind, but this is eerie and awful. It sounds like her mouth is reverberating the noise of a frightening world, filled with eldritch creatures that only do gruesome things. My jaw drops as I realize that this is not just another nightmare. I take a step back as my body starts to shake instinctually. I can't say nor ask anything. I feel as if I'm going to be sick. Bothered by the silence, Chelsea speaks with sad, teary eyes. Though it's obvious and rather heartbreaking, it feels even more painful coming from her.
I can't sing anymore.
I mean, you could try joining a metal band, heavy metal and such. Realizing that I can't stay silent and be timing like I was with Faye yesterday, I prepare myself to hear the cause of this strange phenomenon. What caused this?
I don't know.
You don't know? Did you feel strange yesterday? What about right now?
I'm not sure, but I was really bothered by what Faye told us yesterday. But she can't possibly have anything to do with this, right?
Or she can. Indeed, Faye made us feel troubled yesterday, but that's not enough to a reason to accuse her of anything. We're not kids anymore. We don't believe in paranormal activity. Okay, let's not jump to conclusions. Did something happen to your throat last night? Maybe you ate something that damaged it, or you hit it against something.
No.
She slightly raises her voice. Between the two of us, she's unsurprisingly the one most bothered by the situation. Then I stutter, and my fixation with logically figuring out what happened falters. Fortunately, Chelsea is suddenly compelled to walk me through her theory.
Wait. I had a dream.
A dream? My eyebrows raise at the answer.
No. It was more like a nightmare.
Her eyes become tinted red with sadness. Nightmare? I break into a cold sweat as I wait for her to elaborate.
Yeah. In my nightmare, it was so painfully dark. And in that place, I couldn't shout.
My eyes widen and I can feel the cold sweat pouring down my cheeks. Did you feel empty?
I did. Even right now.
She responds as she stares at the ground, worried. As the sense of realization hits me, I nervously grab a pencil and a small notebook that I'd brought from home. Instead of feeling relieved about my habit of always bringing stuff to draw with, I feel fear well up inside of me. My heart throbs incessantly, reverberating in my ears. A part of me says not to try it because I already know what's about to happen, but instead my curiosity prevails. As I stand, I open my notebook to an empty page and start sketching. Almost immediately, a sense of dread begins to well up from the pit of my stomach alongside the creative euphoria. I force myself to ignore it and continue drawing. I gracefully stroke the paper in different directions with my pencil, producing scratchy sounds. I can sense Chelsea staring at the paper with worried eyes. After I finish sketching, I wake into my senses and take a gander at my work. As I stare at it, I can feel that unkissing cold sweat continue to trickle down past my chin while my eyes widen, surpassing their threshold. Something sharper than a knife pierces my soul. I can't believe my eyes. My sketch looks deformed. No, it can't even be considered that much. It's not art, and it's not abstract. All I can see are soulless, erratic scrawls and scribbles. It's as if an evil soul is trying to communicate with me and drag me down to hell. Much like my sketch of the girl yesterday, it's beginning to take a toll on my sanity. For unlike that, which brought on despair, this is simply incomprehensible on every conceivable level. Yikes. My arms become loose, and I weakly drop the pencil and notebook. Now I can understand how Chelsea is feeling, but I can't do anything about it. This helplessness is unfortunately natural. How could I take action if I don't know what's caused the problem? We stare towards nothing, trying to contain the pain we feel from the depressing phenomenon. Tears start to gather in my eyes. As I continue to be oblivious of my surroundings, I hear Chelsea scream. Even her scream sounds horrible. So everything that could in any way be related to singing is affected, which means it should be the same for me. I snap out of it and try to figure out the reason that Chelsea screamed. I don't know when she got here, but Faye is already standing in front of us, wearing an eerie smile as if she's telling us that she has successfully accomplished something sinister. Chelsea covers his mouth with her shaking hands.
Did you lose something?
No, Faye asks. She's so playfully serene it only brings back the hollow feeling from my nightmare. I have a shocking epiphany and wonder how she knows that.
How pitiful. How can you two achieve your dreams like this?
Faye asks mockingly. In that moment, she makes herself clear. This is definitely Faye's fault. I don't know how it's possible, but I know that I'm not being unreasonable in my assumption. If it's Faye, she can do it. She has always been knowledgeable about crazy stuff. I read stories written by her that are far beyond my comprehension. She's written psychological and occult related stuff that required thorough research and devotion. That's very bad news. Why'd you do this?
Why, you say?
Knowing that she won't give us an explanation, I change it to a yes or no question. Have you lost something? She switches and falls silent, almost as she's hiding something. Then she continues.
Let's see where your blind dreams will take you now.
What is wrong with this girl?
Though, I can easily imagine you two chasing something that won't come true.
She smirks again and starts to walk away from us, clearly avoiding my question. Watch her back as she disappears out of our view. As we fall silent, our hearts clearly grow heavy with sadness. Chelsea starts to break down. She covers her face with the palms of her hands and cries. I feel the urge to break down with her, but I realize that being consumed by this excruciating pain will spell the end for us. So a feeling of sympathy bubbles up within me. I raise my arms toward Chelsea and tightly hug her. Don't worry. We'll get them back. As I hold her shoulders and look at her face, she fixates her tear-filled eyes filled with shock and something else I can't quite explain on mine. I promise to do my best. That's how you do it. I declare it even though I'm filled with uncertainty. As she looks up at the boy who had just bravely declared a hopeful statement, his desire spreads to her as well. She feels her cheeks flush bright red as the boy stares deeply and unwaveringly into her pitiful expression. She feels embarrassed and starts to avert her gaze. But before she can do that, the passionate boy continues to make her feel at ease. How? We're going to take them back, so don't lose hope! After the boy's second declaration, he gently pulls her arms away from her sides and urges her to go home. Chelsea stands firmly, still dazed by what had just occurred. She watches his back until he is nothing more than a dot in the distance. But before he completely leaves her sight as he crosses over into their neighborhood, his figure charms her. It isn't the first time that she felt this way. Before, she'd thought that the boy needed someone to care for him. What did I just... What was that? Ah. Oi! Stop! I don't want to go into the auto mode. No. But right now, he is the one who's being reliable. For her, Jeff served as a savior in this heartbreaking situation. She feels like smiling even though she has just gone through more than many could fathom. But instead of smiling, she tries to sing. She opens her mouth and forces her vocal cords to vibrate. Slowly. You can do it, girl. She covers her lips with the palms of her hands. She feels relieved as she realizes that a little bit of her voice has returned.
But why?
You have to believe. She asks herself, wondering how this mysterious curse works. The power of friendship. Please no. Inside my room, I stare at an empty page in my sketchbook. Determined to try again, I grab my blue bear print pencil from its holder. This pencil is important to me. I use it whenever I want to draw something important when I'm in my room, but I couldn't say why. I'm pretty sure that I'm not the one who bought it. Did someone give this to me as a gift? Despite being disappointed with myself for forgetting about something like that, I continue using it. As I raise my right hand, I sketch the first stroke in my spacious sketchbook. Upon making it to the third stroke, an empty and distressing feeling holds my arm back. I already know where this is going. Even with 3 strokes, I can already imagine the malformed finished product. I disappointedly drop the pencil on the table and cover my face with my sweaty palms as I silently weep. While feeling down, my mind drifts to Chelsea. How can I possibly save her if I can't even save myself? Coerced by the thought, I start thinking logically, even in the face of sorrow. Chelsea's dream is to become a singer, so she lost her voice. My dream is to become an artist, so I've lost my ability to draw. Then Faye's dream is to become an author, so she must have lost the ability to write. I know I've got it mostly right, but something about it seems off. And that Faye must have caused this, but how? I mean, through the research of occult and stuff? Does Faye's loss have something to do with us also losing our talents? This won't do. I don't know if Chelsea is emotionally stable right now, but I'll try to send her a message anyway. As I open the message log, the last message I received caught my attention. It's the latest message that I received from Faye, the one that she sent to me yesterday. Forgetting about texting Chelsea, I read again in hope that I might find a clue. The paroxysm of anguish devours my benevolence. Yet your spirit seems vigorous. And shrouding myself in a curtain that's impossible. Wait a minute. Without even trying to decipher the meaning behind her words, I realize something significant as I read the message. Fake and still. Right! I'm not mistaken. This is definitely her writing style. The abstract verbosity easily tells me she couldn't just copy and paste it from some other source. This can only mean one thing. She didn't lose her talent for writing. What is going on? As I'm puzzled by my discovery, I continue and read the next line of her message. Hey, have you heard about those people losing their dreams like it's a mass hysteria? I search through the sentence, looking for something meaningful. Mass hysteria. As the phrase piques my interest, I instantly grab the laptop I place inside my table's drawer and place it on top of my desk sketchbook. As soon as it boots up, I type mass hysteria into the search engine and click on the trusted source. Trusted source. I read the definition. Mass hysteria is a mild mental condition in which a large group of people exhibit the same mental and emotional state, and usually in a violent manner. It is a type of sociogenic illness, the rapid spread of symptoms among members belonging to the same group, originating from a nervous system disturbance involving excessive excitation, loss or alteration in and of one's environment. After I read the definition, I proceed to look at the different types of mass hysteria and focus on the one most relevant to our situation. Mass emotional hysteria is a tendency of two or more individuals to emotionally converge. It can occur in any age group, although it is rare in any except adolescence and childhood. Prior severe emotional disturbances are normally the cause. In the early days of the mental illness, no changes can be observed and it is gradually as it gradually progresses, the subject will feel the need to express one's irritation, usually towards the cause. I read through and learned that there were cases exactly hours before. Cases where people lost the talents that were essential for their dreams to come true. It said that the source was likely someone who consciously despised their own dream. Okay. Causing it to be buried deep inside of their heart. There were also a lot of stories of neglected, pitiful dreamers who turned apathetic because of the general population believing that such a matter was trivial. Then finally I reached that part where it states the remedy. Due to the fact that emotional hysteria is caused by a mildly traumatic emotional disturbance, the mental illness can easily be cured by providing emotional support, or determining the cause and addressing it. So that's why, with Chelsea, it worked a bit. Specifically, in the case of adolescents, the problem can be fixed by... What? A shockwave hits me as I read the cure. This is unbelievable! Oi, can you tell me? Don't just go to the freaking park again, tell me! It's already 7 PM. I head straight to the park alone, still carrying my notebook and pencil after having discovered the cure to this strange phenomenon and devising a plan. I'm not exactly convinced about the cure, so I'm hesitant to actually believe and execute it. But I just have to do it. I have no choice. I've already decided I'll do this and take our dreams back. I already have a plan in mind, but there is one more thing that I have to decide first. I can't say both of them simultaneously, so I take my cell phone out of my pocket and decide who to call first. We were given a choice. Yeah. Let's go. I like Chelsea more. I choose to call Chelsea, thinking that she must be the one who's hurting the most right now. Of course, I'm also hurt, but I'm also the only man involved. Then again, I mean, come on. Faye, she kept our distance, right? He said it himself, it's been a few years or whatever, right? So, yeah, we are going to choose Chelsea. Of course, I'm also her, but I'm also the only man involved. So I should act like one and say them both. With face distance, I've become more familiar with Chelsea. It's unnatural, I want to save her first. After the phone rings a couple of times, Chelsea picks up and I ask her to meet me at the playground. Here she is. She arrives shortly after we hang up. She still looks troubled. She must be thinking about what happened here earlier with Faye.
Why did you ask me to come here?
You know what? I think I've heard that voice before now that I... Chelsea! Why is it skipping?
Why did you ask me to come here?
I raise my voice in a determined manner.
Yes?
She's startled by my behavior, so I continue with a gentler tone. I know we've been friends since childhood, but I don't think we should stay this way. I have to tell you something.
Huh? At a time like this? What is it?
Her face starts to turn red as if she already knows what I'm going to say. I love you! I shouted at the top of my lungs. It wasn't at the top, but yeah.
Huh?
She's in shock. And so am I. But I've decided to do this. It might sound like a bad joke, but this is supposedly the easiest way to get our talents back so that our dreams may once again come true. According to my research, providing emotional support is the easiest way to cure hysteria. But in the case of teenagers who are in their moody and rebellious stage, familial love is deemed highly ineffective. The best cure is romantic love with the opposites or their preferred sex.
But, I thought you said that love isn't a priority until you can make your dream come true.
That's true, but not now that our dreams are in danger of never coming true. We both need someone to support us. I'm surprised at how cold I am. Inwardly, I feel foolish.
Okay. But
Do you remember Chelsea? I interrupt her, yeah.
huh?
Do you remember what happened when I was sick last month? As I recall it, Chelsea's face becomes completely flushed. It happened last month at the beginning of summer. I was home alone, just like earlier today. My parents were out of town for work and I'm an only child. Same. I normally do everything, like cooking and cleaning, same, on my own, but last month I couldn't manage because I've gotten very ill. I hesitantly called Chelsea since I couldn't get in contact with Faye anymore. And so she arrived. Just when I thought that Chelsea wouldn't come, I fell asleep. When I woke up, a lovely blushing face was inches away from my own. Hello? Her shiny awful lips were close to mine. I could just barely smell her sweet skin and aromatic hair through my clogged nose. Chelsea? Now aware that I was awake, her face turned red with embarrassment and she jumped in surprise. I didn't say anything since I was in the mood to interrogate, being sick and all, but I was really curious about her. After that, she started taking care of me. Her cheeks bright red the entire time, even though she pretended that nothing odd had happened. After reminding her of what had happened, I slowly grabbed her shoulders and suggest something. Why? Why don't we continue from where we left off? She tries to look away, but my advancing face prevents her from doing so. Knowing that resistance is futile, she closed her eyes, submitting her lips to mine. My lips touch hers. As I do, she hugs me tightly, pulling my chest closer to hers. Through this contact, I can feel her sincerity. It's as if she was waiting for this day to come. As we embrace, I can feel the wind giving its approval of our actions. I causes her long blonde hair to gracefully sway about, softly brushing against my arms as I hug her. With our chest touching, I feel warmth. Like it's getting hotter, but it's not just a figure of speech. My eyes aren't open, but I can feel the heat coming from her chest. Suddenly Chelsea opens her eyes in an agile manner. With a queasy expression, she quickly pushes herself away from me with a cute shriek and holds onto her throat. She looks like she might be feeling nauseous and looks at me with confused eyes. Quickly running away. Chelsea! Her blonde hair swings around violently as she shrinks out of sight. At the moment, I'm certain that my plan will work. The warmth that I felt from her chest and her shout being soothing to my ears is sure a sign that her singing voice has returned. A feeling of relief flows through me. As a smile breaks onto from my face, I grab my pencil and the small notebook from inside my pocket. As in celebration, I gracefully start to move my right hand across the empty page of the notebook. But as soon as I do, a menacing feeling boils up within me. Despite that, I continue. As my strokes gradually become fewer and weaker, I wake up from the blind relief that I'm feeling. Horrible scribbles appear inside the small notebook. Then I realize something. Oh, that's right. I see. I look up to the cloudy night sky above me. You really can't cheat love. Huh? Smirk and frustratedly glance around at my dark surroundings. Just like in the darkness of my nightmare, I've done nothing to bring light. I did something wrong to Chelsea and I know that she realized what I did wasn't sincere, merely a pretension. I did it for our dreams. I can only hope she understands. After all, I've gotten what I deserve for playing with her heart. As I blankly stare into the darkness, I notice long hair with purple hair ties sway before it quickly vanishes. I adore it and return home. But I prefer Chelsea, goddammit! It should work! The crickets start to chirp as the night grows darker. I'm laying on my bed, staring at the ceiling, feeling an ever-growing and familiar emotion. I still feel empty, but I'm calmer than before. The gravitational pull of my bed gets stronger, causing me to give into it. The darkness swallows me. Yet suddenly, there's a calming, blindingly bright light. A girl with a queasy, flushed face stands in front of me. I scratch my head and smile wryly. Surprisingly, she reaches out her hands to me, clearly holding onto something tightly, and exclaims in a hesitant manner, "Like? Token? What?" The girl firmly maintains her position. I realize that she's serious. Impossible. Confused from the unexpected confession, I grow uneasy. My fragile mind can handle sudden events like this. I examine the girl's whole expression and wonder how she can stay so determined in the face of nervousness. Thanks! Don't tell me that Faye actually confessed to him and he freaked up like this. I just laughed pathetically. As my embarrassment grows stronger for being unable to keep my composure as man, I mutter thoughtlessly, "I'm sorry." Oh. Before I walk away, I can see the girl twitch as I unintentionally hurt her feelings. What have I done? I muttered to myself as I continued to walk away. Suddenly I hear something drop to the ground. I glance back as I notice the girl running away. I stare at the blue object on the ground, the one she dropped. How could I have possibly forgotten about that? How pathetic. It's been like 4 or 5 days since I've actually recorded, but it's uploaded day by day as per usual. Let's stop listening to the cicadas and go with the story, right? I have no time to feel down about what has happened these past few days. Normally, I would have been satisfied, lost something important to me. Well, yeah, but because I already lost the most important thing to me, I feel like I don't have any more time for drama. Also, yes, the camera is a little bit set up set up a little bit differently. And so is everything else. And, I don't know, I mean, maybe you are able to say it, but the bookshelf is a little bit further on the wall now. Because it was quite literally next to the poster, right? It's not now. Because there's something in the corner over there. I will not get into the details. Because it's not finished, okay? Maybe someday. I should be doing everything to get my talent back. For my dream! I feel like this is just a test to see how much I'm willing to do to achieve it. Can those cicadas like shut? For it's difficult, I subconsciously feel thankful for having this kind of experience. So now, I will meet... oh boy. Oh boy. Chelsea. Today I call Chelsea again. After what happened yesterday, I feel like I should make up with her. If I just go silent, I know we'll both feel even worse than if I just let her know why I did it. Chelsea. After calling her, she arrived shortly. Like, I still can't get over the fact that you can see the mouse in this. It's so weird. Yeah. It's because, I guess, it has a specific shape in this game. She was silent for the whole time, so I speak to her first. I am sorry. I apologized, but surprisingly Chelsea's near ran up to me and hugged me. She hugged me tightly as she doesn't want to let me go. Chelsea!
Don't say anything.
I failed to understand her actions.
Don't say anything. Don't say that you're doing this out of pity.
I'm not for.
I don't care. I don't mind.
But it is not out of pity.
Let me love you. Even if you won't love me back.
But I like you, goddammit! She let go of me and I look at her, shocked and vexed. I can't fathom how or why her feelings for me are this strong. Even still, what reason could she possibly have? And how deep does that reason run before emotion and connection kick in? If I won't accept them, I'll probably never know, let alone comprehend them. Caught in the moment, I grab her chin and pull it closer to mine. We'll kiss again. But just beyond Chelsea, I can see the looming figure of Faye. She glances at me in a detached sort of way and then leaves. Oh, yikes. In an attempt to savor the moment, I tried to block her out of my mind, as if she never existed in the first place. Unlike Faye, Chelsea loves me, so I almost feel obliged to reciprocate. I guess. At that time, I never knew what sort of consequences awaited me. Whoa. What? I hope not like gaps like consequences. And a furious looking man casually smokes a cigarette while leaning against the rather luxurious looking car. Every so often he glances down at his cell phone to check the time, making it clear to the world that he's waiting for someone. And after several minutes, a perfectly innocent looking high school girl approaches him, then enters the vehicle. At a distance, a woman watches them with swollen eyes. Her husband's behavior sickens and saddens her to the point of tears, but she knows he doesn't do such filthy things voluntarily. What's going on? In fact, he's been doing it for about 10 years. So long, she's practically numb to the very idea. They had talked about the relationship. They tried to make it work, but between their mutual behavior and odd text messages, a rift is growing between them. In her hands, she gazes at one such message, the 5th in recent memory. Your husband is a naughty man! I didn't expect him to... I don't know how to read this even, really. Sender Faye! The woman bites her lip and endures the pain. I guess that would explain why Faye is like that. Simultaneously, a single thought runs through her mind. These are the consequences of forcing someone to love you when they love someone else instead. But... What? Huh? In the end, even the pain she felt was wrong. She was selfish. She hadn't even thought about her husband's dream. What dream? His dream that will never ever come true. That's it. Well, I will have to get this merged with the second episode I recorded, which already rendered. Damn it! Anyway. Now the question is, what should we do now, right? Should we... The other question is, why the heck are all the CGs unlocked? Like this? This never happened. Oh my god. But you know what? I think we'll check out the second route. Wrong button. We'll check out the second route as well. I'm curious. I really am. For once. Actually, not for once. It happens very often. It happens less often. Not really often at all, really. When I'm just like, yeah, let's play just one route. I mean, it happens with some really hugely built games, I guess. Anyway, I guess we'll check out the next route in the next episode. For now, hope you enjoy, hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.